ended, though. Doesn't that bring a bit of fear in the Zimbabwean side?
I think it does, because obviously Zambia, after losing the opening match, they really want to come back into it. And we all remember they are the defending champions, and they wouldn't want to bow out in the group stages.
Yeah.
They will give it a good fight.
Yeah, and also looking at Zimbabwe, not a bad side too. They have missed a lot by obviously that ban that got them not to just keep that rhythm going.
Yes, it was a culmination of challenges. Out of COVID, then immediately into a ban. It sort of like affected the participation or the activity of the team. Hence, they need to really push. I think Zimbabwe want to try and chase the others in terms of closing that gap.
You know Zambia well, Zimbabwe well. Now, it is upon you to share with us exactly what we should expect, especially in the Zimbabwe that has to be facing the neighbors.
Yeah, the games between Zimbabwe and Zambia, like you said, they are not easy matches. They are really tight games. They are like derbies. They don't go according to form.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything can happen. But I saw the Zambian team that lost to Kenya. It was a very good team. And I've seen Zambia, they've really shown their intention by changing the squad. There are 6 changes that I've observed, and also 1 or 2 changes in Zimbabwe. But look, it's going to be a contest. It's going to be a contest. A
contest indeed. And as you hear from Wilson, but the coaches also shared with us what to expect. Coach, we spoke about this in the past. We're talking about it today. Neighbors. It's an important win for you today. It has to be.
Oh yes, another tricky game. I think a very important game for us. I think we know that it's not going to be an easy game. Playing Zimbabwe, it has never been easy when Zambia meet with Zimbabwe. But the most important thing for us, I think, this afternoon, we just need to ensure that we maximize the points if we are to stay alive in this competition. Otherwise, so far so good. From what we have seen into training, players are ready and eager to fight this afternoon, so that we ensure that we maximize the points.
Your performance against Kenya, you looked good even when you were 2 goals down. Did that draw some inspiration?
Oh yes, I think from that game we picked the positives that we did into that game, coming into this game, and again we worked on the mistakes that we did into the previous game. Otherwise, like I mentioned, the team looks set, and we just hope that we fight and ensure that we maximize the points this afternoon.
Coach Tapera, you're up against wounded Zambia. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. You can say that again. But you know how it is football. It's a tricky. Besides that, they lost. We play against Zambia. When we play against Zambia, we play against South Africa. Those are derbies, you know. No form is going to count for more. It is who probably wants it that day will carry the day.
And not only that, they are your neighbors. Geographically, you have a lot of score to settle.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it's always about who wants it more. It's a derby. We are fighting for the bragging rights between the two of us, and we respect them. We respect them. They have been into the building up of these games for a long time now. We are coming from this setback that we had, but I think we'll take it as a derby. We'll take it as a competition that we are in it, and we want it more, considering that way we are coming from. I think it will be a blessing for us to get a point or 2 or 3 today.
Looking at them, you must have seen what they can give, what they cannot give. Have you worked on areas to maybe concentrate on, to expose them?
Unfortunately, there's no time for those movements. Yeah, we just have to do a lot of talking, a lot of tactical talking. Otherwise, we are. I think we are ready. We are ready.
The two most successful nations in the history of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup face off at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium, KwaZulu, with defending champion Zambia in need of a win following a loss in the opener, and a Zimbabwe here looking for a second win on the trot, marking their return to COSAFA Cup football. On that note, a good day it is to you, and this promises to be an awesome way to end the weekend. The Zimbabweans will hope it's their flag that flies high, and to the end of the day here, while Zambian supporters will hope their side kickstarts their tournament, really kickstarts it today against an age-old enemy in as far as the Zimbabweans that stand before them here today. We expected a bit more of a crowd here in the afternoon kickoff, and it seems to be the case. Good number of Zimbabweans now out on that far side, and a few more making their way into the tunnel as we expect both these sides to put up quite a showing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Zambia. And then sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of wealth and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We want freedom's fight for one, strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by God's good hand. Let us all have people join as one, brothers under the sun. Oh, one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh one, strong and free. Praise be to God, praise be, bless our great Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Green and we stand. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the national anthem of Zimbabwe.
Passionate and pumped up, not only the Zimbabwean players, but the Zimbabwean fans, I should say, as well here. met on 9 occasions in the past in the COSAFA Cup at both these nations, and it's Zimbabwe that do have the upper hand with wins over the Zambians here. These Zambians would like to start to notch some wins in favor of their country in pulling back the Zimbabweans and looking at the Zambian starting 11. 6 changes to the starting 11. At left back is Chilomboshi that comes into the starting lineup. At right back, a change as well with Matthews Banda starting the game. He's just 18 years of age. Dixon Chipa comes into midfield as well as Owen Tembo. Whilst out in attack, they will have Siangombo out wide on the left, and Andrew Peary will be the sharp end of the attack. He also joins in the fray here with 3 up front, 3 in midfield, and of course Tembo as well as Sukumanda will look to provide some creativity and steel in the middle of the park. The Zimbabwean supporters have certainly found their voice here. They're hoping for win number 5 against the Zambians at the Hollywood Best COSAFA Cup here. Abongile Tom is the man that is in charge of this fixture, assisted by James Emile from Seychelles as well as Aswet Tilak from Mauritius, Tom himself from South Africa, and under Fetra Rakotajaona from Madagascar is the 4th official. Now, the Zimbabwean lineup will have Tapera, who's already found the back of the net, just the one change in the squad. That, of course, is Moshore, who comes into a midfield position, crucial for Hativongan and Murira to have a good showing in the heart of defense. Whilst Benhura will be looking to find the back of the net as the main striker. Neke and Matuza will be looking to provide a bit of creativity from the wide areas. Moment of silence coming up now in paying respect to a legendary Zimbabwean footballer, Norman Maroto, legendary, of course, passed away earlier this week. That's why we here, Kwazakele, show our respects to him, and of course the Zimbabwean Football Federation. Well, respect shown to a man who was the old-timer scorer for Dynamos FC with 145 goals. He's the highest scorer in the Zimbabwe Premier Soccer League with 124 goals. Most goals scored in a single season out of him, 31. First player to win the PSL Golden Boot 4 times. Zimbabwe national player with 23 caps and 10 goals. Almost our hearts, thoughts and prayers do go out to the Zimbabwean Football Federation, all of Southern Africa, paying its respects. Well, it's the one to look forward to. Once the fixtures came out, this was the one to look forward to. In the group stages, Zambia to get the game underway. They will attack the goal to the right of your picture in the orange and black, whilst Zimbabwe in the all-white will attack the goal to the left of your picture. Nine meetings before in this competition. Zimbabwe winning the head-to-heads 4-2, having won 4 just to the Zambian 2. 3 matches have ended in draws when they've met in this competition. In Zimbabwe now looking for a bit of joy out of that far side. Anything positive happening on that far side will be greeted with joy from the fans, of course. There's a Zambian flag also to be noted out to that far side, towards the left of your picture, as we pan towards the right. Outnumbered by the number of Zimbabwean supporters that have turned out. Now, with the many changes here, right through the departments from defense to midfield and the attack, the Zambians will be looking for a good start. Chance to look for one of the 3 men inside the box nice and early. Group that's been turned on its head, Group B. with the Comoros getting the beating of Kenya earlier on in the day here. Zambia now finding the action happening a little too quickly here on this near side. The pass asking a little too much of Gangwanda. These sides have also made 5 times in finals. 4 of those finals were won by Zimbabwe, with Zambia winning just 1 final against Zimbabwe. Chinga with the early pull forward, battle on then, Hichiro, or Achiro I should say, amongst those battling in the middle of the park. Chilongoshi. Space to turn movement is pretty good on this near side. Nice take by Gongwanda as well here. Looking for the pylon, then good hard running, and it gets to a good spot then. Good defending on that near post by the Zimbabweans, with Zambia looking at threat on this near side. Good start from Gongwanda. Battling against Farai Banda. Gets the better of Banda. He's quick, he's strong, and close to finding his target in Andrew Peary on that near post. As he's moving, does have a chance to pick up his head and look at the option in the movement. Tap. Pace from Zengombo. Closely washed. Has been battled for every inch out on that far side. Zambia take the set piece quickly. Well, the decision then will go against the Zambians. It's applauded by the Zimbabwe supporters on that far side. Manuel Jalai keeping a close eye on Siangombo. Plays his club football with the Dynamos. That's the man in your picture. Zambia keeping it moving quite quickly then. The likes of Simaganda involved in working all the way back here to Chinga. Banda. That's being Matthews. Banda out wide on this right side for the Zambians. Noma. Well, of all the changes that have been made, it's interesting to note that the Zambians didn't make a change to the central defensive duo of Kangoluma and Chinga. They, of course, did suffer the sending off of Calvin Kapumbu, was wearing the captain's armband. So the captain's armband here today, worn by Titsin Chapa, who is operating in the heart of midfield. Also one of the 6 changes that have been made to the starting 11 years, Chapa. Five minutes gone by here. Lively enough start to this game. Good atmosphere in as far as the background here and the supporters and how lively they are to their far side. Pitisi with the pickup. Zimbabwe looking to drive forward here. Numbers working hard at trying to get into the box in the end. It's way too close to Kalumba, the Red Arrows man. Picks up then. Distribution, well, dealt with on that far side by Zimbabwe, who've gotten themselves into a crossing position. It's Kangoluma that calms matters down here for the Zambian defense. This is an interesting scenario with the day starting with Kenya, Zimbabwe on 3 points. Now it's Kenya, Zimbabwe, and Comoros on 3 points. Keep in mind, if Zambia do go on to pick up 3 points, all the sides in the group will all be on 3 points here, and that'll be following the second round of matches, which will make things interesting going into the last round. That's what they need to play for here, the Zambians. They'll be very much aware that if they don't win today, top spot in the group will be lost to them. Don't need any more inspiration than that. Zimbabwe will get the first shot off in anger through Tinotenda Meke here on this near side, cutting in field.
That's a sign of intent from Zimbabwe. They really want to just take the lead and taking advantage of the fact that Zambia lost in the previous game, so they want to put pressure on them. You touched on good atmosphere, great weather and good vibe too. Fans are here in numbers and very rowdy, noisy and very exciting.
Well, the weather certainly played its part over the last 3 or so days here. It's been wonderful weather, great for a game of football. Even the wind has somewhat stayed away. Today, possibly the strongest wind we've had, but still not enough to affect the game of football. Now, space to attack out to the far side as Zimbabwe push forward. Oh, they've got pace, they've got skill. Still, get to the bar. No, it's thrown it in. Click, click, bang! With a beauty of a strike then for Mapeza. He's second of the tournament. An individual effort. That's truly a thing of beauty.
Almost fell off my bench. What a run from the halfway line. Ran with pace, ran with purpose and intention. And didn't we see those intentions?
Now, it's Zimbabwe that get off to a flyer inside the opening 10 here. Their flag flies high, and Mapeza with pace, skill and drive and something special at the end of it all then as he sets Kalumba's goal alight.
That's the worst thing to be a defender when you're chasing a man that's on the run. You're chasing action instead of confronting as a defender. And all three of them were chasing him. None of them were just confronting him to just make the ball off. What a goal, Cesar.
Oh, contender for goal of the tournament already. Beautiful individual efforts. Second of the tournament for the Manika Diamonds, man. And wow, mentally, it'll be like placing a rock on the shoulders here of Zambia. Conceded early against Kenya in the opening game. There they are inside the opening 10 minutes, and they've gone down to a truly marvelous strike from Mapeza, but they've got it all to do if they are to pick up the 3 points necessary to keep them in the running for a top spot in the group at the end of it all here.
We've been asking for goals. They didn't know that it will raise my blood pressure so high. Just got excited because it was a well-taken goal. Wow.
Space to turn here. There's the option out wide on this near side. Used up then as Meke. Now drives forward, getting to the byline. All in. Finds the side netting. Well, they pumped up. The 12th man is alive and kicking. And they've gotten what they need here, which is the opening goal. And for Zambia, not just a battle against the 11 on the field anymore. They're battling those out in the stands as well.
Zimbabwe, in fact, the Zimbabwean fans seem to be now the happy-go-lucky fans. They were celebrating at Nelson Mandela Bay, and they are celebrating now. I wouldn't say today now. Just started. Well, Zambia could give us something else.
They are back, and how they've been missed in the COSAFA Cup football, the Zimbabwean national team, including the vibrant, ever so vibrant supporters. Banda, just 18 years of age, operating out wide in the right back position here on this near side, wearing the number 2 on his back. One of 2 defenders from Ghana Football Club in that back 4.
Can't wait for the Battle of Bandas, number 2 for Zambia, and also number 12 for Zimbabwe.
Yep, Matthews Banda of Zambia and Farai Banda of Zimbabwe. Funny enough, Matthews is at the right back position, Farai is at the left back position, so should they overlap, they will run into each other. Free kick here for Zambia. in a hurry to get it moving quickly. Here's Matthews Banda. Again, this time with a header. Now, chance to break here on this near side with pace. It's Meke having a go at Chinga. Meke, byline, ball across. Needed to be dealt with by Kalumba. Kept alive on the far side by the goal scorer Tapera. Supported by Jalai. In the end, they don't quite get it right in keeping him alive on that far side. So you got a vibrant forward on the right side, another on the left side. Problems for the Zambians on all fronts here.
What a balanced side this Zimbabwe is, because now they're flying with both wings. They're untouchable. But I like the cushioning pass for this ball down the line, this earlier cross. It just made it graze his hair, and then it was on the path for his own Russian teammate.
Kanguluma. Chapa. Matthews Banda. Chinga operating alongside Kanguluma was the man guilty of having given away the penalty, of course, in that opening match against Kenya early on in the game.
Just an observation. I wonder if you've noticed the number 5s in this tournament so far. They come in big sizes.
Yep. He's a big, strong man. What a lovely sight to see those Zimbabwean supporters, of course, out to that far side in full song. Well, they would have been watching on for a few years here without the ladies in the ladies' game, without the men in the men's game, and wishing upon their return to what Zimbabwe have had a lot of success at in as far as the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. 6 times they've been crowned champions. Zambia on 7 occasions, not much separating these two sides. But what will excite the Zimbabweans coming into this match is their history against one another, where Zimbabwe definitely has the upper hand, as mentioned earlier. That impressive win against Comoros, a very good Comoros side, by the way, that won against Kenya earlier today impressively. Would have been all they needed to know, that their side is back and back to shake things up. Not only in the group, but they'll be hoping in this tournament. Dixon Chapa of Lapsa Stars looking towards the 18-year-old Matthews Banda here on this near side. Zimbabweans happy to stay on the halfway line here and try and make life difficult for the Zambians to cross that halfway line. That's lovely work defensively. Good pace shown then by the goal scorer Tapera, who's contributing defensively as well. And here on this near side, outside of your picture, Matthews Banda had actually made a run down the line, then he was hoping for the ball in behind. It didn't happen. Had to check himself and return back onto an onside position. In the meantime, Chinga. Chilomoshi pushing on down the line then with Siangombo. Early ball, there are a couple of runners going into the box. Nicely taken. Looking to set it up for a possible shot at the edge of the box. Eventually they go wide to work it back in there again. Urira, importantly, gets his head onto it first. Gets it clear. Well, Zambia very quick now to get numbers into that box, hoping for distance from the throw-in here. Matthews Banda to wind one up. Competitive game of football here in these early stages, being played at a wonderful pace as well, as Chapa and company look to build from the back. Chinga. Well, this continues to be the group to provide the most in goals and entertainment, including shocks. It's safe to say just about every result has raised an eyebrow so far. Kenya beating Zambia raised an eyebrow. Comoros beating Kenya raised an eyebrow. And so far, this result as it is, as it stands, it may raise an eyebrow when Zimbabwe making such a confident return to things here in COSAFA Cup football. Problems here for Chitoshi Chinga, the Ghana man. Is struggling.
17 minutes into the game, and he pulled a hammy.
When it rains, it pours. Right now, they need every man out there to be fit and ready to go. Well, very much against the tide here, the Zambians with the start Zimbabwe's had to this match. Last thing they need is for Chinga to pick up an injury. Now, could be a chance here. Beautifully chested down into the danger area. Unfortunate not to be able to finish it off for the Zimbabweans. Kangwanda having to work to get his own way here.
I find it strange that Zambia is not getting anybody to be ready to come on. But if you look at the grimacing on the face of the defender there, you realize that Chinga is really struggling. Take him for a run, then you'll realize that you are pulling that further. Don't give it time to recover. That's the idea of any striker. Give it to me, I'll take him on.
Yeah. Well, with the way Zimbabwe have been going at it, he may discover very soon whether he'll be able to continue with the game or not once he's back on that field. Now, as things stand, oh, lovely pull over the top, and in the end he's played it across instead of going for goal, and wow! Pitisi is seen to have been fouled. Quite fortunately, I think it's safe to say he stayed down here, and Wanda was the man looking to catch him napping.
No, I don't agree with the referee. Pitisi just went there and realized that he messed up. The ball was kicked before he got it under control. I mean, he went like he was picking out tomatoes or any veggies in his garden, relaxed. The ball wasn't in his hands. Referee got it wrong there.
Kangwanda, it's not just the ref, the official on the near side had his flag up as well. So maybe the referee took the cue from the official. Near side official, of course, being James Emil from the Seychelles.
James got it wrong.
20 minutes in. If you haven't seen the goal as yet, strap in. You're in for quite a ride here. Starts the run inside his own half. Tapera never looks back.
He did very well there, dipping the shoulder and getting rid of 3 players and then unleashing from there. But look at Kangulumba, how he turned, not knowing where the man is. It's like a see me now mind before he knows it was in the back of the net. Wow, leaving Kalumba keeper, wondering how did he do that?
Look on Jacob Tapera's face is that of a man who believes, well, that's what he does. Even the training we're used to this, he just does this.
Not only that, that's how Taperas do it. He's now proud of the same.
Decision against David Simukwanda, Young Player of the Year out in Zambia. making the run from midfield here to be caught in the offside position. So Zimbabwe will be, well, the first side to win 2 in this tournament. And it will be quite a statement. This group, the most entertaining so far by a stretch of the imagination.
And the worst can happen to that block. If Zambia equalizes, then it's a different story.
Yep. Still a lot of football to be played. Maka here on this near side. Have to love the intensity that the Zimbabweans have brought into the opening 20 minutes of this match.
We all know Zambia can play. Now the big question is, can they play to win? Because they impressed us last time against Kenya, but then this time, can they go on to turn all this good performance into goals?
Now, right now, they will feel the pressure to make something happen in an effort to firstly keep the option of finishing top of the group and qualifying for the knockout stages alive, and also looking to avoid the embarrassment of being defending champions who don't get out of the group stages. Good challenge, but he's in trouble. Here's Chinga. He's gone down. He has 10 for Zambia for the time being. They'll be well advised to have the ball go out of play, but well, battle on here on this near side. I think it's done for Chinga. It's curtains for him. He will need to be substituted. Just about everything that can go wrong is going wrong here for the Zambians.
Sir, with my little knowledge of this game, I knew that it's a matter of time when he gets taken on. This was when he was about to be taken on. Imagine if he was turned and have to chase. He wasn't going to. He was carrying that injury and just nursing it. That's when I believed that someone should have been warming up. Now you can't warm up someone now, because that person will be so cold that you'll be taken to cleaners.
Yep.
I mean, these guys are on fire already.
It was a good point you made, what, 5 minutes ago when he first went down? And well, we felt that it won't be long until the Zimbabweans expose the injury, if it is in fact true. And there you have it. Hardly moving, that's always a sign for me. When the player goes down and hardly moves, it pretty much tells you a story.
And with his size, when he gets injured, I mean, it's different to me with 2 kgs of a hamstring. That's 10 kgs. Now you've got a lot of meat to work around.
Well, the character for this defending champion is really being tested now. Up against it. In the next few moments, they'll be down to 10 men. They'll be forced into a change as well. They are chasing the game here, still looking for their first goal of the tournament. The Zambians, keep in mind. Lost their captain to a red card in the last game. Chinga, unfortunate to give away a penalty, but did in the early stages of the first game. So far, just about everything that can go wrong has for the Zambians over the last game and 25 minutes of this.
And he broke down on the 18th minute.
Yep. Captain picks up 2 yellow cards, ill discipline playing a role in that as well in that first game. A look back at the arrival the day before the tournament and maybe add that to the list of things that just haven't gone according to plan. Now, more things happening here. Max Maponyani, Ganguloma seemingly in control of the situation, maybe called for the foul here on Ben-Hura.
Yeah, that was also unnecessary, and it was just Ben-Hura putting pressure on him, and he decided to take matters into his own hands.
There you go, hand up in the opponent's face.
That's what we mean, own hands.
Referee was very quick to blow the whistle here, and there's some serious problems here for the Zambians. Outside of your picture, the coach has called Kanguluma over, and Chisi Mbewe just about finished having a word with him, or one of the coaches just about finished having a word with him, and believe a strong word will be sent out there for them to keep their heads and keep it together. Keep in mind, there's still the 10 men on the field here. They haven't made their substitution as yet.
And they almost got a situation where, well, yes, using a hand nowadays is a definite yellow card. But imagine now you get ill-discipline, as we see him getting a yellow card there. It's ill-discipline at its best. He now has to play tight. The team is a goal down. And if he tries to be tight, he could maybe miss time the tackle and then get a red.
Matthews Chabala is just about ready to come on here. There you go. Chabala replacing Chinga. So he will play alongside Kylian Kanguluma, who's already on a yellow card. Plays for Zesto United. That's Chabala coming in for his first minutes of this tournament, not having featured in the first game at all. That was a starter, no coming in off the bench. Banda again getting distance with the ball into the box. Zambia with the shot from range. Oh, that doesn't miss by too much. Certainly had PTC worried with that shot from outside of the box. They're still arriving here. They, some of them would have been walking around outside the stadium and are not too far off and hearing the atmosphere or feeling the atmosphere coming from this venue, thanks to this group of Zambian or Zimbabwean supporters, I should say. And it's one of those scenarios where you just have to be present, have to be a part of it. Lovely turnout now out in that far stand, which seems to be filling up quickly. On the turn, then Kangwanda fouled as we approach the half-hour mark. So earlier on, the shots went wide of the mark from well outside of the box. Then in Stembo, there was trying his luck, the Power Dynamos man.
Beautiful snapshot. There was no room, but he just saw a gap and he went for it. Not far off.
Chapa. Well, the defense taking no chances then in clearing the danger. This is where they can be dangerous. The Zimbabweans on the counter-attack. Zimbabwe very quick to get numbers back into defensive areas. Still, it's the Zambians quick to get numbers back into defensive areas, I should say. Kanguluma combining with Shabala for the first time in this match since Shabala has joined up from the bench. Half an hour gone by here. Still, Tapere's goal that separates these two sides. Lovely individual effort with a run that started inside his own half from wide out on that far side.
Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup season provides a lot of neighboring rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday it was Botswana, South Africa, and then today this.
There'll be a lot more to come in the days to lie ahead. Things will intensify, of course, once we move into the last round of matches. There you have it, Zimbabwe with 4 goal attempts to Zambia's 1. Telling in these early stages, Zambia yet to get a shot on target, Zimbabwe with 3. All about hitting the ground running here for the Zimbabweans. Right from the early exchanges, you could tell they made business. Well, they enjoyed those touches out to that far side as Zimbabwe continues to drive forward here. They certainly are enjoying themselves. Well, there's a whole host of supporters still that have just made their way into this venue. You can see top of your picture, there they are. They are all looking to take up their positions. Some fresh Zimbabwean flags arriving as well. Word must have gotten around that, well, there's a party to enjoy at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium. Oh, that's a dangerous challenge for a man already on a yellow card here. Kangaluma, second yellow.
We spoke about this. We spoke about this, Sizwe.
Red.
I mean, from that, I just thought this is just too early and unnecessary. And then there will come a moment, and not even jinxing him, but here's the moment. A second game, second red card. And he has a nerve to say no.
He flew in then.
He showed starts.
Starts showing, had to be a second yellow. And Killen Kangaluma is the next man to walk from a Zambian point of view. Oh, he was in trouble. He was in trouble every step of the way. Claiming to have gotten the ball.
Not only starts showing, you could read the number of starts under that boot. He went for it. If you keep it still, you can see the man was maiming his opponent.
Problems here for Mushore. He now looks okay outside of your picture as he gets back up onto his feet, but some serious problem for the Zambians, the defending champions. Just when we're saying everything that can go wrong has gone wrong, well, they have another catastrophe. Now, what do you do in this case? As Zimbabwe,
he's very frustrated.
Yeah, the body language says it all.
Letting him down. Doesn't he have features of Kalusha Boyarwa?
Just a bit. Mututsa, the latest going to the referee's book, he's talked himself into trouble here unnecessarily, Mututsa.
And he's at an advantage. He shouldn't have been part of that. But Sizwe, what happens when you are guilty and you don't even see the wrong? You even wag a finger at the referee and say, no, you got it wrong. When you got it horribly wrong.
I think also what will hurt for Zimbabwe is senior players getting it wrong. In the way of Kangaluma, when you rely on the captain in the last game, then you lose Chinga as well to an injury earlier on. So your central defensive pairing that you started the game with, started the last two games with, is broken down and out now. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong, including the Zimbabwean fans just arriving and throwing a big party out to that far side. You could add that to your list of problems. And Zimbabwe themselves coming out, playing some rather impressive football. A lovely individual goal, that's the goal of the tournament. What do you do, Max?
The last time they were men down right towards the end. But now it's too early. They need to be disciplined. I think that's the answer to what you do. They just need to be disciplined. Imagine when they get the second person.
They were just establishing the relationship between Kangaluma and Chabala in the heart of defense. That's now broken apart. Looking to see who's playing alongside Chabala then in a defense. In fact, they're playing with 3 at the back now, by the look of it, instead of 4. Man down to the far side. Well, it's got a derby feel here. Another yellow card shown. I think Chala is the latest in the referee's book.
You're in trouble with 4 defenders, as we see Chala here getting a yellow. You're in trouble with 4 defenders. Now you get 1 man send off. Then you've got 3 against the speedy Zimbabwean side that are having happy feet on the day.
Chapa, the man fouls. Zambia with the set piece. Well, he is busy. Here's Abongile Tom, the referee from South Africa here. Great decisions made, by the way, in the 2 yellow cards to Kangaluma. Also a couple of yellow cards to a couple of Zimbabwean players into the last 10 minutes of what's with an action-packed first half.
The battle of Zambia and Zimbabwe, 14 South Africa.
Ooh, defensive header. In fact, it was an offensive header then for the Zambians. It's gone well wide and high, but something for them to work with.
Lovely set piece. Just couldn't glance it enough to leave the goalkeeper stranded.
Kangwanda, it was the man who plays his club football in Sudan for Al Hilal, operating out wide on this right side. Good pressure applied right from the front end. It just worked out for the Zambians as they look to work it up the field. Again, the pressure forcing the error on that far side as the Zimbabweans earn themselves a throw-in as a reward. Tapa here with his arms all over the opponents, and Benuna of Gezi Platinum Stars winning the set piece for Zimbabwe. Decent ball, and well, it'll be kept alive on this near side. Good skill. Pressure on the youngster Matthews Banda here. Quite a battle has turned out to be between these two men.
I always complain about small things that are not done, basics. Did you see Banda?
Yep.
Checked over his shoulders to know where his opponent is.
Yes.
He didn't turn into him, he turned away from him. And those are the basics that I look for from a footballer.
Now, Zambia will have to work to keep it alive on the far side, and just that sort of half for them. Zimbabwe taking the throw in quickly. Tembo, Matthews Banda. There's Chabala. And as a forced change, if you are just joining us for the injured Chinga. Keeping it moving impressively on that far side and avoiding some challenges to Boots as well. Nice turn from Tapera. Good overlapping run, and in the end they'll settle for the corner.
When Tapera started, when he received the ball, I thought, here we go again. Lovely chance.
Yeah. Good support as well between the left back to the left winger, and left winger I should say. Jalai and Tapera combining well on that far side.
And Jalai is playing to his strength, that is to Tapera's strength.
Nothing Zimbabwe would love more than to find the two-goal cushion in the moments leading up to the half-time break. Is this their time? Into the near post. Zambia able to clear.
If you want to know my impression about the first half,
yes, sir.
I've got one word. Wow.
Yeah. What a return to COSAFA Cup football for Zimbabwe. My, how we've missed them. Shaking things up. Well, they certainly are being felt here in Southern Africa. The very best Southern Africa has to offer, barring Malawi, who are present at this year's tournament, by the way. We missed them and their supporters too, it should be said. In no hurry is PT now, the Highlands man, taking his time. For Zim, it's important to take the lead into the half-time break. Achiro getting it wrong then in the middle of the park. Well, they are still looking organised as the defenders throw in right from the front to Zimbabwe. Zambia will look to make no more mistakes in the defensive areas here. Try and keep the game as clean as possible from here on out, especially with the situation as it is. They're still rock bottom of the group as things stand. The only side not to have picked up points as things stand. Now, anyway, will do. It's Dixon Chapa of Napsa Stars. Gets it clear. Zim looking to keep the pressure up. 4 inside the box already. Bolan! Excellent banging header. Standing header from Abenura. Point blank range off the underside of the bar, and it's Zimbabwe that continue with their party here. They score early, they score late in the first half, and are applauded with 2 very well taken goals here. The man who plays for Ngezi Platinum Stars, right place, right time, after a superb delivery from this near side from Farai Banda. Standing header. Kalumba given no chance. Well, Zambia in all sorts of trouble now. Quality for Banda, time and space to send in the cross. And once again, Charles Tapera applauds what he sees here, and the Zambian fans, wow, their long wait to return to the COSAFA Cup comes to an end in style with the way they've started this tournament. This is the right opponent to find your best foot going forward for the Zimbabweans. Now, strong play. Can he find the teammates? Answers no for Dinatenda Mega. Strong, extremely strong then in shrugging off Matthews Banda. 5 minutes added on. The Zimbabwean fans wouldn't mind one more. Well, the hits just don't stop coming from this Group B. Ball in towards that far post. That's good work by Kalumba. Good strong fist onto that. Off an opponent lost, and it's Zambia that'll get the throw. Well, they need the halftime break now to Mbewe and his Zambian side get their house in order. Once again, Zambia, if you are just joining us with a player sent off, here they are looking to pull one back before halftime. Good work to avoid 2 challenges here on this near side in the ends. Zimbabwe keeping their discipline defensively then. Chiro, the man that's down with the ball towards the near post. 2 yellow cards from, or 4, Kanguluma from Abongile Tom. A big talking point at half-time. The unbelievable solo run in the opening goal from Tapera that started his own half. Another huge talking point, including Bedmura late in the half then. Finding a second, an all-important second for Zimbabwe, the 11 men of Zimbabwe against the 10 of Zambia. Still another 45 minutes to play. Great atmosphere provided to us from the Zimbabwean supporters. Great turnout on the far side as well. We hope for numbers for the late kickoff. They certainly saved it till late to come out here in their numbers on a day that's already had its fair share of drama, with Kenya losing to Comoros. I find it grabbing a brace in that encounter. Kenya, you remember, beat Zambia on the opening day. Like I say, Group B is the gift that keeps on giving. And there's the COSAFA Cup. Most importantly, we've had goals after a day of a couple of goalless matches yesterday. Good quality football, lovely ball to the far side, good first touch, and the header in a decent contest in the air. Then Ben-Hura battling with the defender. They are doing well on the left, on the right, and centrally they are firing on all cylinders here. As Chapa is simply muscled off the spot by Ben-Hura, who does well to win the header. Couldn't get over it, however. Tembo. Chabada. Back to Chapa. Forced to go back to Kalumba. Under a minute of the 5 headed on to the end of the first half remaining. Now, can they get one more before half time here? Menacing Zim, and in the end is Tapere's shot that's blocked at the edge of that area. Sensible defending from Chabada. Well, now there will be question marks as to Zambia's future in the tournament. It will be up in the air now, going forward into the last round of matches as defending champions. Came into the tournament, keep in mind, hoping to be the first nation to win 3 COSAFA Cups in a row. Now that's something that's distant in their memory. They're all about now trying to just get through the group if they can. What a half from Zimbabwe. What a half from the Zimbabwean fans as well on the far side. First Tapera with a lovely individual effort to get things going inside the opening 10 and beat Kalumba. That got them alive and vibrant on the far side. The supporters, red card towards Kanguluma, who picked up 2 yellow cards, and Ben-Hura to make it 2-0. And it's Zimbabwe that continue to make their return to COSAFA Cup football, one their supporters are loving. It's promised to be one of those matches, and so far it's lived up to expectation. At halftime, it's Zambia 0, Zimbabwe 2. Let's have a look at the stats then, and while they tell a story, nothing on target from Zambia, as yes, ball possession belonging to Zimbabwe, who've got the extra man. Discipline has been a bit of an issue for the Zambians over the last 2 matches. Zimbabwe with more goal attempts, with a couple of goals, more shots on target. It's all going the right way for the COSAFA Cup returnees, leading 2-0 at halftime. Down to Max.
Yes, and we're down here with Eldron van Heerden. Eldron, you are with the technical study group of COSAFA, and we're looking at this and say technical study group might help us here and there with other issues. Let's start with this technical study group. What is it?
What it entails all about is us looking at the trends of the teams, the systems, how they play. Obviously, goals scored, in what minute it scored, goals conceded. But it all starts from the warm-up. You look at all the small details, how teams warm up together, is the group separated, you know, the rest and recovery, obviously, the assist, mostly concentrating on the statistics also.
Interesting you talk about the rest and recovery. And in this particular match, Chinga, the number 5 defender for Zambia, he pulled a hammy on the 18th minute.
Yes.
And where could the cause be?
I think from the get-go, we discussed that as a group, asking us, especially in the tournament football, why do teams separate themselves when it's warm-up? The 11 and the other group is that because if anything happened in the first minute, then a player should get in. And now, as we can see, this is the second game for the group. It's strenuous on the players, you know, so the time period of resting and recovery is it's tough. So we think that it's best that players are ready from the get-go. So if anything happens to one of the players, they are ready to get into the field as soon as possible.
Something ironic, though, from a layman's point of view. I noticed that when Achinga was injured, no one was warming up from Zambia's side. So if they now suddenly get someone on, he could also stand a chance of pulling a muscle.
100%. That's what we said. So why don't take the whole group together to the same warm-up? Let them be, the players be warm, and I think maybe in that part it's maybe he's an important player and they want to see how far they can push him, but it's obviously it's not good for the player.
TSG, have you also got anything to do with the man of the match, all those selections?
Yes. That is what we discuss
Tell
as a
us
group.
more.
Yeah. We discuss as a group as we select players that is influential in the game, and then obviously as it goes closer to the end, and then we make a decision on that.
Thank you very much. Nice chatting to you. Now we're learning more of also the other things that are happening here, and we will discuss that, I'm sure, during the process of this tournament. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Max.
Yes, there are other things that are happening. That is through COSAFA, and all these things are happening. The likes of the players, in fact, the understudies, those that are in typical practicals, they are being shown the ropes and being told this is what needs to be done, and they can be there among players in the change rooms and know about this beautiful game. Talking about beautiful, I've got this beautiful guest of mine. Wilson, what a first half.
Yeah, another good first half, which we never expected, and this is the game of football. That's the excitement that comes with it.
Talking about the excitement that comes with it, the excitement that looks in these legs of the Zimbabwean players, all of them are nimble-footed today.
Yes, somehow, you know, the second game always has brought new characteristics from the opening games of any tournament. And I think it's what we are witnessing today. We witnessed that in the first game, and we're witnessing it in the Zimbabwean game. Honestly speaking, nobody would have said Zimbabwe could have probably performed like this. I think they're coming out of their shells, they're expressing themselves, there's freedom of expression on the field of play. And I think it's working out for Zimbabwe.
Talking about their shells, let's look at that first goal coming out of their shells. And this is just when Zimbabwe are untouchable. But how's that from Tapera?
Yeah.
In his own half, just hugging that line, taking on 3 defenders, and that to me was a finishing of note. Often players run that distance and don't have the power to put the ball to finish.
No, the young man he did very well there. That was a very good run, a very good solo run, good dribbling skills, and an equally good conversion in terms of finishing there. I think, like you said, he's the boy who has scored in the last 5 games, I think, back home in his league, in his league. And I think he has been scoring goals for fun.
And also there was a red card in this game, and that was, to me, uncalled for.
Yeah, that was the turning point, I think, of the game, just like again in the first one. Same just number 4 getting red carded. And then the whole match also then turned, and now Zambia seem to be on the back foot now.
Isn't it interesting that what we know or see seem to be what the players don't pick up? When he got this first yellow, I just said, you know, he may be in a situation that is untenable.
Yeah.
And there he is doing something very silly. Starts showing, maiming an opponent. That was, to me, the turning point.
A bit of uncontrolled aggression there. Maybe the desire to win. He wanted too much more than the situation. I think he should have been intelligent enough to know that I'm sitting on a caution. Then he should have played it a bit safer and more be more cautious.
Now, the second goal. What a goal. The keeper saved it when it was long in.
Yes, an equally good cross, a delivery from the left, and a very firm header from the young man. Yeah.
That was a beautiful cross, and also with that aim of just glancing it, and not one of those that we've been seeing throughout where they will be going wide and over. That was, to me, a good finish.
Excellent finish, excellent finish. I think that was a good finish from the young man in terms of, when you look at his height versus the defenders that were in the box, that was a good leap in terms of a jump to finish that one.
And that was a time when Zimbabwe was just untouchable. Benjura felt this is the moment. He smelled that area in the box. In fact, there was also a player on standby, but obviously not too close.
Yes.
But it just shows the invasion of the Zimbabweans in the opposition box.
Yes, yeah, like you're saying, they're playing with freedom. That's that's literally playing with freedom. When you look at the movement as they're joining attack, they don't feel restricted at all. I don't know the instruction that they've received from the coach, but it seems to be working out.
We saw Zambia conceding or getting a red card in the last minute in the last game. Now it's in the early minutes of the first game. I mean the first half. They have a mountain to climb. What can they do to avoid an avalanche?
Yeah, indeed. I think Zambia now, if they are to come back, it's to make sure, again, they must not sit back. Usually, teams tend to be very cautious and want to employ a lot of men in defense. But right now, it's about taking a risk now. They have to go all out and make sure they push Zimbabweans. But if they sit deep, they are going to invite Zimbabwe to get a third one. So Zambia has to really play with tactical flexibility so that they can really try and match Zimbabwe.
I can't also miss to ask you about your countrymen. They can't be complacent because this is a funny game.
Indeed. Just one goal, if the Zambia gets one back, anything can happen. And who knows, they've also a player on sitting on a caution. You never know. They pull one back, and if something happens, then it's level.
When you are a coach and your players are getting red cards game in and game out, wouldn't that also make or raise eyebrows for us to think, don't you talk to your players?
It does. You see, it's about fine margins. And, you know, the mind, when you look at complacency or uncontrolled aggression, it's really, mostly it's a state of the mind. It's a mental issue. And the coach has to always come in. This is when, I think, when you speak of a psychologist in the team, this is when they come in to play a big part. So, yeah, it raises a bit of eyebrows, and the coach must try to keep it on the check.
While we're talking about psychologists, before I leave you, that Shonga moment, shouldn't there be signs to say, that man is injured, he's not going to be there long, let us get someone warming up?
Yeah, this we're observing that even the warm-ups, we have tended to see another group just doing a light warm-up. Yeah. And as a result, in football, an injury can occur in the second minute. And those guys who were doing a light warm-up, they will be called on to get in, and it will affect the team. I was looking at the situation, there was a sign before he got injured. This went down for the second time. It could have been a grade 1 tear of a muscle. But then they forced him because the people were not warmed up. And he pushed. And who knows, it could be escalated to a grade 3 tear, and it's more than 8 weeks out. Something that could have been avoided by making sure our players are well warmed up before the game, and then everybody's ready.
And interesting, we were talking about that with my colleague Sizwe when he got injured for the first time, and we said it's a matter of time before he gets taken on one-on-one, and he stopped that one-on-one, that even if he had turned and chased the opponent there on the second incident, he wasn't going to chase him all the way.
Yeah, I think those are the details that as coaches we need to pay attention to. That signal was enough for a change to be effected.
When you're saying that signal was enough, don't the technical staff, including obviously the medical, know about such and look at the coach and say the signs are up?
To be honest with you, these are some of the oversights that still happen in this part of the world. And looking at football as a real industry, when we compare with other normatives, we really need to bridge that gap.
I'm glad you're saying that, because that is why now COSAFA has got a technical study group, because they share all this information with different teams.
Thank you, exactly. And this was one of the subjects at the symposium in terms of science, that how can we improve, how can we bridge that gap? We covered sports science, we covered psychology, we also covered performance and analysis. And these were very critical subjects in terms of just bridging that gap. And I think we saw some of the issues that we discussed at the symposium in terms of sports medicine.
I'm glad you are in that department, because I've always said, maybe I'm wrong, 72 hours is sufficient time for a normal body to recover from a match or a high intense performance?
Yes, in terms of science, in terms of recovery, yes, regenerate 72 hours is okay. But this is also where coaching comes in terms of squad rotation. Because basically when you get a result, you must be that objective to be able to rotate your squad so that you then enhance recovery on time.
Thank you very much. And the man that is objective about the game is Mapeza.
Well, we get ready to get the second half underway here at a lively, a vibrant Isaac Wolfson Stadium. Wazakele by, and for the Zimbabwean supporters here, they would have come out in support of the side, knowing that they have a tough enemy lying ahead of them in the defending champions, who are looking to be the first nation to win 3 in a row. So far, things haven't gone according to plan for the Zambians, not only in the first game where they lost to Kenya, but even here this afternoon. If you are just joining us, it's been a dramatic first half. First, they lose Chinga to an injury, having pulled something, then concede to a lovely individual goal from Michael Dabera. Kanguluma gets 2 yellow cards in a short space of time and is sent off. And another good goal from the Zimbabweans sees them taking the 2-goal lead into the halftime break. And here they are at the start of the second half, looking to continue to bring the pain the way of the Zambians. Zambia, that will make the changes here. That won't be a surprise. Mwamba will replace Kangwanda. That's one of 2 changes, as the Al Hilal man gets substituted at the start of this second half. And Siakombo is the man that will make way for Ricky Banda. So the 2 men out wide on the front line are those that have been sacrificed here. Keep in mind that Chinga made way in a forced change for Chabala in the first half. So that's 3 changes made by the Zambians. 45 minutes in, and Zimbabwe yet to make a change, don't need to make a change, some would argue, with the way they went about that first half. Here they are looking to find the eye of the needle as they drive forward. Zambia, keep in mind, haven't had a shot on target as yet in this encounter. Zimbabwe pressing on here with good numbers over that halfway line and looking to take control. Nice and early. Was Atibangwani. Well, the big problem for the Zambians was the fact that by the end of the first half they'd lost both the central defenders they'd started the match with. Kawaluma sent off, Chinga picking up 2 yellows. Chabala, who's coming off the bench, operating in the back 3 now for the Zambians. Zakaria Chilongoshi of Vanessa Stars back up on his feet and able to continue after he was barged into here by Jalai. Jalai needs to be careful, the man from Dynamos. He's already on a yellow card. Yeah, Montuta on yellows as well from a Zimbabwean point of view. Early ball forward, and Ricky Banda not the slightest of touches onto that. Well, they're taking their time about it, the Zimbabweans, as they look to build. Zambia now very quick to get numbers behind the ball. They'll be looking to make things difficult going over that halfway line for the Zimbabweans. Early ball forward, yeah, battle on for the second ball. It's won by the Zimbabweans and a set piece in a good area. Well, Mushori of the Highlanders, the man that's brought down. And at some point, Zambia are going to have to throw caution to the wind in trying to turn things around here. The bigger picture is something one must consider as we look back at the foul. Just getting ahead of the captain, Dixon Chapa. Frustrated is Akalumba as he desperately looks to line up that wall to the best of his ability. Zimbabwe looking for something special once again. Oh, it's a stunning strike and a blinding save then from Akalumba. It was the captain, Morena, who got the very best out of Kalumba on this occasion. Stepping and menacing. Third corner of the match. Morena to take far post, and well, in the attempts to keep it alive here, need to be careful of conceding to a counter attack. Could work from a Zim point of view in that regard. Now, ball played down the line here. Ricky Banda running into a brick wall in Hatibagoni. The Bulawayo Chiefs man standing firm defensively. Again, it's quite a contest here between these two sides, and men trying to win the ball back and battling against each other to win the various individual battles out of that field. Pushing forward, that is Banda initially on the far side. Tabala now. Tembo with the ball out wide to the far side once again. No way through the middle of the park, then with the number of Zimbabwe shirts there. Handball then against Andrew Perry, and the plays is club football for Maestro United. Well, good partnership in the heart of that defense for Hatibagoni and Morena. Mentioned earlier, they need to consider the bigger picture. Bigger picture being that this was a game they came into in need of a win. If they were to stand a chance of finishing top of this group and moving on to the knockout stages, Zambia. So at some point, they may very well need to throw caution to the wind here and try and make things happen going forward in desperation, of course, even though they do have 10 men out there.
have a game to go. Sizwe will only acquire the 3 points. So rather go all out here could cause confusion when they end up with 4 points, meaning there's 1 from here and then getting 3 in the last game. So just throw everything into it.
Now, Zimbabwe looking to find goal number 3, then shaking things up then with Neke. Ball in is all dealt with. And Mwamba, one of the 2 men in off the bench at the start of the second half. There's Mwamba. When plays for Mufulira Wanderers. Didn't feature at all in the first game, so enjoying his first minutes of this tournament here with Zambia very much having their backs against the wall. Space to turn here, option on the far side. Zimbabwe on their way, 3 getting into the box. Overlapping run used as a decoy, set up for the shots! Just wide from Tinotenda. Meke looking to bring things to life, the green fuel man. He's been troublesome all day long. He's been a thorn on the side of that Zambian defense. In fact, that entire front 3 is a problem.
They all know where they are, what they want, and they are playing for each other. But as for the cross and the goalie, that second goalie late in the first half, this is what I felt for the keeper there, Kalumba. He thought he saved it because he was in no man's land. But he held on to this ball preciously, thinking it's fine, I got this one.
Well, the second half sees the Zimbabwean supporters picking up where they left off at the end of the first half, again in good spirits here as they continue the party. And well, beating Zambia will make for quite a party here. Now, pressure being applied right from the front here on Kalumba. Could eventually lead to a card, and does, for Moshore, 3rd player from Zimbabwe on a yellow card. Well, the coaches were saying to you before this match got underway that this match is as good as a derby. It certainly does have the derby feel with the atmosphere and also the physicality we've seen in this match.
It does look like a derby, and the Zimbabweans are so pumped up though.
Yeah.
That block shows also how pumped up they are. I mean, the 2 up and still wanting to block the keeper there with the stars showing. You know that the one that's got an argument, Caesar, so, but the starts are facing down. Says, but the man is clearing, so you cannot press that with the starts.
Tapera winning the throw in here on this near side.
Isn't it interesting that the man was operating from the other side, Tapera? Now we get to now see how quick his feet are because he's closest to us.
Well, that's the joy of both wings being very lively here, not just for us, but for the supporters on the far side. They enjoyed him playing right next to them in the first half. In the second half, they've got Tinotenda Meke doing likewise and bringing them joy on that far side. Strong work defensively here from Chawala. Again, battle of strength every now and then, where players are tested physically. On another occasion, Ricky Banda beaten to it by the determination of Chalai, still getting physical, legally so, when he's on a yellow card and needs to watch himself.
Isn't it interesting when we are talking about the tournament at some point, we worked out and realized that there is no goal so far with the second round of matches underway.
Ball in. Oh, there's an important header by Shabaramas.
The second match is underway, the second round of matches underway. No goal has been scored from a set piece. We've had 2-3 penalties, but not from a set piece, not even from the corner set piece.
Well, the Zimbabwe supporters were hoping for a call then with the Dynamos right back taking a tumble inside the box here. Again, look at the physical nature of some of the tussles here. Hands up, claiming his innocence, then Shabala.
Sorry, just while I was on that subject of set piece, someone will say, what's the positive? The positive is most goals are coming from the sides. Crosses from goal in game 1, we saw them from the sides. And it shows you that you cannot try to force it through the middle all the time because there are too many bodies there.
Approaching the hour mark. Soon it will be desperate, this situation for the Zambians as they stray into an offside position. For those just joining us, the far side official is Asweet Tilak from Mauritius. Well off. Zambia, the only side to have been caught offside in 58 minutes of play. Also tells you a story when you score lovely goals, a great individual goal, a good team goal with a cross, that it's a balanced display we've seen here from the Zimbabweans, and that's told to us by the stats with Zambia having nothing on target just yet. That already tells us how well balanced this Zimbabwean display is here today.
Very interesting you say nothing on target. They are even the target of the Zimbabweans. So you are targeted and you are still looking for a target. You have to run for cover.
Simagonda, young player of the year, will be making way here. It's Mulamba that will come on in his place. A couple of players making way then. The fans player of the year is Andrew Pili out in Zambia. He's made way as well. Zambia on in his place. Plays it up football for Power Dynamos. Part of the wall. Whoa, another player to come on. It's the better cross-cup shot that won't pose any problems then for Columba. One of two players from Manica Diamonds that have been used by Zimbabwe in this match, worth noting that Zimbabwe are yet to make a change, whilst Zambia have been ringing in the changes.
That being said, Sizwe just gives Zimbabwe an edge now because then they are resting those that could have come on as subs. They are resting them for the penultimate game. In fact, that is for the final game of the group.
On the 1 hour mark, Tapera has to go once again in the defense. Close to washed by the long legs of Shabala.
Is Stocky.
Yeah.
More remember when at 21-19, Besuma was the stocky boy that everyone was looking at and saying, this boy can play.
Well, as it stands, Mafa, Zimbabwe on 6 points, top of the group here, ahead of Comoros and Kenya. It'll be quite a day that last day. should Zambia go on to lose here today, surely they'll want to finish on a high by winning on that last day. So still will be a competitive day and a lot to play for both the Kenyans and Comoros on the last day. So Group B, I have to reiterate, continues to be the gift that keeps on giving.
And that being said, Zambia will be up against Comoros, who have now starting to got the rhythm of the tournament.
They looked the business earlier on today. If you didn't catch them play against the Kenyans, took the game to Kenya and took Kenya apart in that encounter. In fact, Kenya themselves had a player sent off in that match. I find it grabbing a brace. Tapera will make way here and will get quite a send-off, having scored a contender for goal of the tournament.
I think it's not only giving Mapua a run, it's also to rest Tapera. He's been running at his opponents until what, 62nd minute? He's been really happy when he receives the ball. You remember those shoes of the late Shoes Musho?
Yep.
When he gets the ball, you see his feet are happy.
Yeah.
Don't look at his face. His feet themselves just dance around. May so rest in peace. What a happy feet player he was. Now this is what we've been seeing from Tapera.
Attempt to keep it moving on this near side, not quite working out for the Zambians then. It was Shiloboshi who was looking to get the better of Mapua, the new man on the field. What a player, by the way. You speak of John Shoes Mushu. Had a conversation with a few of our colleagues some months ago, and we were trying to name the top 5 South African players that they've ever seen. Shoes was in everyone's top 3. Depending on whether it was number 1, 2, or 3 is not the point. It was in everyone's top 3. In the best South African players each individual felt they'd ever seen.
And also consider that he's been doing that since he was young, and even went on to play until 40.
Still having an effect at the highest stage. Now, Zambia with a chance to get some numbers in the box. They've got 3 and a 4th arriving. Question is, are they going to be allowed to send in the cross? Working hard is Merke. Joining him here is Hachiro. And, Matthews Banda doing the best he can under a tremendous amount of pressure. Zambia still holding on to it here. Battling on here are the Zambians. Chabala. Tembo getting the forward pass. Now Zambia looking to break through defensive lines and causing enough confusion here to force the corner. More like it from the Zambians.
If my teammates can't come to the party, I'll play 1-2 with myself. That's what he tried. That was good effort. Driving forward.
Need to always be mindful of the counter attack from the speedy Zimbabweans. Taking no chances, then the captain. Safety first when you aren't sure, even though the keeper may have called for it. Pauli on this near side of the new man, Mapua. Another of the green fuel players. The other, of course, is operating on the other side of the field, that being Tinotenda Meke. He's a teammate, club teammate of Mapua's. Kalumba, once again, organizing his one-man war. Abongi Letom, the match referee, having words here with Shabala. and having none of it in the contest between him and Ben-Hura. Pressure every step of the way on Owen Tembo from Power Dynamos. He's done well to keep it moving. Now, and down to the far side, and another card will be shown here. That is Banda. Well, at 18 years of age, he's getting some experience of what international football feels like when you come up against serious rivals. Went into the challenge with his elbow up in the opponent's face. That's why he got the yellow card. Abongile Tom continues to have a stellar game here from a refereeing point of view. He and his officials got it right with the second goal then, going over the goal line, and his decisions on showing yellow cards have also been unquestionable. Now, set piece in a good area here, just outside of the box, and they need to be careful. The likes of Shabala don't want to unnecessarily tuck themselves into a yellow card. Handball. Mugowo, the man penalized. Still having a lot to say, Shabala, but fortunately not to the referee. Approaching the last 20 minutes. Zimbabwe looking for a third goal here, maybe to put this matter to sleep. Wall does his job.
Shalai also had a good day in the office, especially in the first half when he was combining so well with Tapera.
Also, what's been impressive with him, Martha, is the fact that he's on a yellow card, as we take the time to remind you about what's coming up tomorrow. Angola taking on Seychelles, goals and wins needed in that group, keep in mind. And later on, Namibia take on Lesotho in what should be an entertaining closing to the day, right here at the Isaac Wilson Stadium,
which is in the township of COSAFA. It's been interesting to see how lively people are around here. Noticing that there's something to go forward, to look forward to.
Also going on our little adventures to and from the stadium and trying to find different venues from Summerstrand to get here. Learning PE in the process.
In the process of being lost, we realize we're discovering the place and exploring options of how to get here.
Important challenge by Shabala, just when it looked as though Zim may be onto something. And they search for a third. Now, it works defensively. The combination of Antimakoni and Morira coming to good effect. Shabala. Chilogoshi losing out then. So here's Mapua. Ben-Hura. Nice on here on this near side, but Chavala is it back to Agalumba. So, they will maybe be sad a little bit that it's a Sunday and not a Saturday, so they may need to check their celebrations going into the evening, with it being a working day tomorrow. But for the young boys and girls who are on holiday here, they'll continue their celebrations.
They've really had a ball. From yesterday, we've seen good crowds. Tomorrow shouldn't be an exception, given the fact that the other parents have taken leave because the schools are closed. So we'll have more, but not as many as yesterday and today.
Yep. Even a couple of years ago, when the COSAFA Women's Championships was down here, it was a lovely representation from the community of Wazakele, to a point where the final was even moved here. The knockout stages were moved here rather than being finished off out at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Now, skill for the crowd to enjoy out to that far side, clearly from Mecca. Flag up on the far side. Still only Zambia that's been caught in offside positions in this match. Well, sides that have made a bit of a statement today. Comoros and Zimbabwe continue to make a serious statement. I think Kenya can be included in the sides from Group B that have made statements so far. Yet to know who really has the upper hand in the other groups. We'll have a clearer picture of Group C tomorrow. It's hard to tell from Group A with everybody on 2 points there. Yet to have a winner in Group A, yet to have a winner in Group C, keep in mind. Maybe we'll change tomorrow as we look back. Well, it's a Zambian free kick here. If they do pull one back now, it makes life interesting for the neutrals.
Interesting though, from day one, I think every team has really competed. They gave good account of themselves. Yes, we know there's no 3-0, 5-0, what happened kind of thing. But it's because they really all are competitive.
Yep.
Even those who lost.
Yep.
Even today, I mean, Zambia is not struggling. It's just not disciplined.
Yeah. Like the red card does now. The red card for the Kenyans didn't have their cause, although they put up a good show. When Comoros lost to Zimbabwe, they put up a good show themselves, did the men from the island nation. Now, Zambia in need of something special. That's Yuspanda, 18 years of age, says 19 next month. Goes wide of the mark.
Zambia in need of something special, but Coach Tapera from Zimbabwe is thinking, how can I just kill this game? And Rousey is the man that's about to come on. So he, depending on who he substitutes, if it's one of his lethal players, well, I don't know what I'm saying because they're all lethal today.
Yeah.
If it's any of his players that is playing up front, then we know that the plan is about finishing the job in the last game.
Well, I have to commend Zimbabwe in the way they've gone about business, still playing at a high intensity late in the day with a 2-goal cushion against 10 men. Zambia with Chilongoshi kind of going tough, and in the end he attempts to, at the very least with the corner, sees a goal kick going the way of Zim. So, a couple of players will be coming on here. Putti will enjoy a few minutes, well, just over 10 minutes out there, as well Neva Rousey. Well, the goal scorer Takunda Benhura is making way, and Wata Sentov is getting on that far side. And there's an answer to your question, Max Papanyani. One of the heavy hitters, and your goal scorer is the man that's making way.
That's the man that is pressed him, because he knows that he has just worked his socks off up front, attacking all the time, and got rewarded for that, or rewarding the coach for that.
Now Zambia now have reached at a point where we say desperate times, in need of desperate measures.
I like that moment of defending from the Zimbabwe side. One man in the box, but they both went for him, one in front, one at the back, as if it's a set piece.
Yeah.
Making sure that he doesn't sniff the ball.
Well, that's one of those days where you may very well want to get into the heads of both Chisibewe as well as Jairo Tapera. End of the day, you could, in finding out how they feel here, especially for the defending champion Zambia, looking as though they'll be losing 2 in a row here, still struggling to find the back of the nets, may play 2 and score none, conceding 4. Definitely want to get into the coach's head and find out what the thinking is then in the overall picture as well. Came in here with high expectations, looking to make a bit of history, extend their record to 8, be the first side to win 3 in a row.
That doesn't look like it will be the case with Zambia, given the 2 matches they've played.
Fortunately, they've run into a couple of party poopers. Zimbabwe having a party of their own upon their return to COSAFA Cup football. Kenya, the guests, that turned into sworn enemies with the win over the Zimbabweans. Now, on this near side is Putti.
Man of the match in the game between Zimbabwe and Comoros. That's captain number 21, Mururirwa. He's been solid again today.
The combination,
marshalling that defense.
Combination of Mururirwa and Atibakoni is heavenly in the heart of that defense for the Zimbabweans. Looking at another clean sheet if they can. Hold on for another 10 minutes. What's also important is after maybe a first half that wasn't so great from the Zimbabweans against Comoros, an improved second half. It seems to be getting better and better as the competition wears on. Okay. Look, Mom, no hands.
I'm pleased with the scoreline and the goals that we've seen today, Caesar, because we only thought it's only common sense to start opening the valves in second matches. Only disappointed that Group A matches were not open up like today and tomorrow.
Yep. Looking to force the issue in shrugging off a couple of defenders and trying to get yet another scoring opportunity then for the Zimbabweans. Fans always inviting a possible third here. Wouldn't mind 2 or 3 more. Now, offside. Also, what a recovery in the pace department then defensively. Well, anywhere in the country, I've attended COSAFA Cups in the Northwest, here in the Eastern Cape and out in the Kingdom of the Zulu. And anywhere in the country, Zimbabweans come out and they show out.
And Walter will always be conducting the orchestra. He's right there in the midst.
Now, Zambia still in search of their first goal of this tournament. Race on, then they were hoping to have yet another look at goal then as the Zambians get some numbers over on that far side. Good hard running from the Zambians, looking for the byline and pull out for the goal kick. Well, you have to commend Matthews Banda for his efforts. Working hard as the youngster.
In fact, the Pandas have been doing well today. We predicted that there will be a clash. We didn't get that clash, but we get them running at it throughout. Running forward almost 90 minutes.
Yep. Space to turn here as the Zambians, to their credit, continue to go in search of the goal that may just turn this match in its head later on. Ricky Banda battling on that occasion with Malvern Atibakoni of Bulawayo Chiefs. No foul, says Abongile Tom. Again, having a good view of that situation. Under 5 minutes remaining on the clock. Just still find one more here. So, Zambia short of numbers here on this attack. So much so that the cross is played with just one target inside the box. Oh, this will be a sweet, sweet victory for the Zimbabweans. That's if things stay this way against the 10 men of Zambia. And Shabada. So, Zim looking to keep their discipline on the defensive end of the game here. Well, that's offside. More frustration for the Zambians. Well, the last time these sides faced each other was back in 2019. It's worth noting a game that ended going to penalties with no goals scored in normal time. And they met again in 2017 in Phuket, and it was Zimbabwe that walked away 3-1 winners, with Tiswa, Chawapiwa and Mushuri were the goal scorers. Met in Ndola in the final, where Zambia walked away 2-0 winners back in 2013. Quite a tournament that turned out to be out in Zambia back in 2013, of course. Those of us that were lucky to be in that tournament had some great memories made out there. And the Zambians certainly doing the business with an important victory over the Zimbabweans then in the final. Now, point across and good goalkeeping here from Magalumba. Met in another final back in 2009. Zambia 3-1 winners, or Zimbabwe, or Zambia rather. Lost out 3-1 to Zimbabwe. Mushekwi with 2, Malachila, the other scorer for the Zimbabweans. In 08, they met in Sekunda, 0-0, again after normal time. Good goalkeeping in from Magalumba. Chintila giving the Zimbabweans the win over Zambia in 2005 in Mabatu in the final. Semi-finals in Harare in 2004. They met again then these age-old enemies in as far as the COSAFA Cup. Take on the far side now, Zimbabwe look as though they've done the business here. Approaching 90 minutes, looking for goal number 3 if they can get it. Good defensive touch on 6 points and cruising in Group B. 4 minutes added on to the end of a memorable day, not only for Zimbabwe but a memorable day all round here. Tomorrow, Angola, Seychelles, kicking off at midday, right here at the Isaac Wolfson Stadium. Later on, for the late kickoff, Namibia up against Lesotho. Everybody in need of a win in that group, so there's a lot to play for both those sides, or all 4 of those sides, I should say. Time space in the middle of the park here. Putti on the near side with the overlapping run. Putti it is, getting to the byline. Causing a lot of discomfort in that Zambian defense. Good out running on the near side here for the Zambians. And the ball in then from Amalamba. taking no chances defensively is Hatibagoni. Bit easy to organize once again. Nothing will be sweeter for him than keeping a clean sheet in this encounter. Time now running out for the defending champions. Trouble coming Zambia's way here in the way of the immediate future. A first place finish just about, well, it's in a couple of minutes going to be out of reach for them. And we'll bring out the calculators going forward if necessary. Mushore will make way, and again gets a lovely send-off from the Zimbabwe supporters out to that far side. Mauching on in his place. Plays for Simbabora out in Zimbabwe, also coming in for his first few minutes of the tournament. Completely outplayed the Zambians here today. Now, good work here in capitalizing from a defensive area, but that's all a good solid challenge to win it back here. In the last minute of 4 added on. Again, too much down on the ball. Janai. Tavengwa. Ashiro out to that far side. Do a good job of just holding on to it here and keeping away from the Zambians until all is said and done. All the Zimbabweans. Puti. The defending champions in serious trouble in as far as trying to get out of Group B of the 2024 Hollywood Best COSAFA Cup. Zimbabwe continue a stunning return to international football and to the Hollywood Best COSAFA Cup with an impressive 2-0 win over the defending champions here, with goals from Tapera, a lovely individual effort, Penura, a great header, and just the all-round performance from Zimbabwe. A thing of beauty against the Zambians here. Zimbabwean fans coming out in their numbers and outstanding on the day as well. They contributed to the day and the entertainment. And in as far as Group B, it's Zimbabwe and Comoros that will be the victors of the day. Visitors Kenya losing out earlier on in the day to Comoros, but the big news, the huge win for Zimbabwe. And it's not just in picking up the 3 points, it's the way they went about it that is terribly impressive. At the end of it all, yeah, it's Zimbabwe topping Group B, having the win over the defending champion Zambia with a 2-0 scoreline. Now, let's have a look at the numbers then, and see what they say. Zimbabwe with everything working in their favor here. Remember, they are sending off the 2 yellow cards for Angulula in that first half. At that point, it was a huge turning point, of course. Mapeza scored a lovely individual effort. Then Penura came in with the second, and Zimbabwe now very much in the driving seat. And there's Comoros behind them. Kenya and Zambia round up what's been a thoroughly entertaining group.
Yes, we are now joined by our man of the match, Richard Hachiro. Richard, well done, but I'll talk to you after you've received the award. Do the honors, Frank. Frank Yawa is from Hollywood, giving Richard Man of the Match award. Richard, well done. Today, you looked a very different team. Share with us what inspired you.
Okay, what inspired us is just we are playing as a team, and we were told to play as a team. That's what we did.
And also playing against your neighbors, I'm sure you wanted to prove something. Settle the score.
Not really, just wanted 3 points.
Not really wanting 3 points, you only wanted 3 points, but looking also at how precarious the situation could be if you don't win. That must also be in the back of your mind.
Yes, it was a derby because they are our neighbors, so we really wanted to win.
Really wanted to win, and winning you did indeed, and congratulations as you make your way out, and I'll be joined by your coach.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and congratulations once again. And the coach of Zambia is joining us, and coach wasn't to be.
Well, I think a disappointing afternoon again. I think the early goal, I think we had mentioned it before the game. We had even worked on it before even coming to this game. We allowed a quick goal that made us to now start playing under pressure. Again, a red card came. Again, it now worsened the situation. Again, we started playing under pressure. Otherwise, congratulations to Zimbabwe because they wanted more and they have won it.
Also, you had a setback, that injury to Chinga. That I wanted to get your or pick your brain on that. When he pulled the muscle first time, didn't you get worried and thought, let me get somebody to warm up?
Oh yes, I think also the injury for Chinga came in the early stages of the game. I think it disturbed our game plan. We had to remove him and bring in someone to replace him. Otherwise, like I mentioned, it has just been not a good day for us. It's a disappointing result.
Coach, before I thank you, very briefly, ill-disciplined, red card, 2 games back-to-back. Something must be done then.
Oh yes, I think when you are playing a team like Zimbabwe, playing like Kenya, you get a red card, you get to be punished, and I think it's something that we just need to address because 2 games you get 2 red cards. I think it's not good for the team.
Very unfortunate indeed, and thanks for your time, coach. And
thank
unlucky.
Thank you so much.
And I'll also be joined by the winning coach. He must be happy. Coach, a happy man. I could see the smile from a distance. The boys did the job.
I think the boys did the job. It was like we wanted it more, and the strategy was to get an early goal. Probably we have the first goal, which we did, and I thought it unsettled our opponent. They became desperate. But when it comes to the movement, I think we allowed them to play on the back. We really knew how they were going to operate, and we allowed them to play on the back, and we were hitting them on the break like I don't know. And I'm happy with the boys. I think the boys are reacting to whatever we are. Like I said, no training, but we are doing a lot of tactical talking. I think they are responding very well to all the moves that we are talking to.
Not only the goal by Tapera, the up front, you were solid in the midfield, organized at the back, very, very composed. What a team today! Happy feet. What motivated them, in fact, for them to be just all-out attack like this?
I think the first thing was the last team that we had at the World Cup qualifiers. I think we've got only one here. We brought a new team, and the idea was, look here, young boys, this is an opportunity for life. Go out there, do exactly what you are told, and the rest, it's yours to put every 100%. And I think they are doing very, very well. They are looking for positions, you remember. We are starting to look at how best we can organize ourselves, how best we can start our senior national team. And I think with these young boys, you might have 1 or 2 who can join the senior team.
Not over, last game to go. Focus must be the same, I guess.
We like I told you, we take each game as it comes. This is a very good history that we've done. We need to do another history in the next game. and another one if given an opportunity. I think we are ready to do the best that we can.
Well done today, and good luck as you move on with the tournament.
Thank you very much, my friend. Sure.